Welcome to the Tamos Podcast. Today my guest is Dr. Chanita Federlein, Director of Tamos Cambridge, and together we will explore lessons from global education, how to grow a strong school community, the skills students need for the future, and the impact of social media and artificial intelligence, and ask the big question: are we on the edge of an educational revolution? Welcome to our podcast, Dr. Chanita.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, and my first question will be, we know that you've worked in various schools around the world. So what global lessons have shaped how you lead Tamos Cambridge?
I think the important thing that I have learned is that different cultures require different types of leadership styles. So you have to be very adaptable depending on the country in which you are, because the entire community have different requirements. For example, the way parents have their expectations, students' expectations, and staff expectations. I think what's also very, very important is to have very, very high standards. I think to keep people accountable, to make people answerable for their actions and their results, and to have continuous improvement and to find ways to improve and do things better all the time. I think also good schools invest in teacher development. If teachers are stretched to grow and to develop, you're going to have schools with better student results.
Could you also share with us in what countries you worked?
Yes, I started my career in the United Kingdom, where I was for nearly a decade. I worked in Mexico, China, Kuwait, Qatar, Egypt, Cameroon,
Wow.
and Kenya, and now Kazakhstan.
Yeah. How is your Kazakhstan?
I'm happy in Kazakhstan. I'm happy in Almaty. I just came back from a month in Bali. And even though it was sad that the summer holidays are over, I felt happy to be home back in Almaty.
Cool. My question will be about the most, maybe not dangerous, maybe most difficult experience. In what country you experience?
I find different countries have different challenges. For example, when I worked in China, parents have such unrealistic expectations of their children that the school nurse would frequently have to send students home for burnout and exhaustion, where kids have not slept in the night, they've worked right throughout the night. And there was a lot of emphasis on educating parents that student well-being is also important. I find in Kazakhstan it's more balanced. Parents expect high standards, but parents also understand that student well-being is very important.
Yeah, we also have a situation where we have selective schools and not selective, and I think the main recommendation for management of selective schools is to focus on students' well-being, because unfortunately we have some news from the past where students, because of high volume of pressure, academic pressure, they faced some not good situation with their health, with their mental health also.
Yeah, in Tamos Cambridge, we really focus on this. We have a school counselor, and all teachers and staff are trained to observe students and to flag up if a student look like they are not doing okay. We refer that to the counselor, and we contact the parents to flag that up.
Thank you, Dr. Chanita. My second question will be about student number. Now we're facing the stagnation of the development of private schools in Almaty, in Kazakhstan, because of some new news from government, from some subsidies from government, which they cut. And lots of private schools, they're struggling, but Tamos Cambridge show us gradual increase in students' number. So my question is, what's the secret?
I would say there are several factors that play with that. The first thing is that we have a very clear vision and mission statement, and the entire school community are educated about this. And parents know it, students know it, staff know it, and we follow that vision. We do everything to link into that vision and mission statement. And then also we have very clear, consistent communication with families. Parents expect communication. We have WhatsApp groups where parents can directly communicate. We use EduPage online system where parents can see all their students' activities every single day. And I think parents really are happy with that. They want to feel that they have a place to be heard. I think also word of mouth matters a lot. I think generally we do well-being surveys every term at school, and our students are happy. And I think word of mouth is the strongest marketing tool that you can have. And if you have happy students, your student numbers are going to grow. And lastly, I think also transparency in leadership and stability in leadership. If leadership are stable, if leadership are consistent, the community value that, and that is what makes our school continuously growing.
Yeah, I also want to mention that in Tamos Cambridge we have student government.
Yes.
And you support students to make their own government, their own leadership. And could you share with us maybe some news in this field?
Okay, yes, we have a student council that gets elected at the beginning of each academic year. It's elected, all students elect. They stand, they do candidacy. The school takes it very seriously, the community takes it very seriously. We also have class presidents that will link into the student council. So there is an open line of communication where students can go talk to their leaders, student leaders, and student leaders talk to the management team. We have regular weekly meetings with the student council, and they come to us with suggestions. We want a day where we come with our backpacks. We want a student dance. We want more technology, whatever the case might be. And we then see whether that is viable or not. And I would say it's 50-50. Half the time we can grant the students what they need, and other times maybe it's not in the best interest of their academics, or operationally it's not functional and we cannot do that. But I think it's very important to have that open line of communication where students can easily raise their opinions, concerns, and suggestions.
What about primary school students? They also participate in election process?
Yes, from grade 4 they participate in the election process, but we also have a student mentorship program where we buddy up senior students from grade 9, 10, 11 and 12 with students in primary school. So they meet with those students weekly. They help them if they have any academic problems or any problems with friends. And that's where the senior students get information from the little ones about what they need and what they want. But from grade 1, we have a class president.
Interesting. What about extracurricular activities and school events? How important they are in Tamos Cambridge program?
I think it's very, very important because it develops soft skills, it develops leadership skills, it develops teamwork and creativity. And all those skills are things that you're not going to find in AI. Those are soft skills that students need to develop. It helps them to be balanced, it helps them to de-stress. It also helps with student well-being. They feel more engaged, they're part of a community, they make friends. So it's really, really important, and it also strengthens the school culture and the students' identity within the school.
If we continue talking about students' well-being, for example, when we test students in academic way, it's easy. We have system of scaling, scores. But what about well-being? It's not so accountable, and how, my question is how you feel this concept. I mean, how your teachers, your team, your management, for example, if some students have problems, how they find it.
Okay, we have several systems in school. Number one, we have a QR code, an anonymous QR code that's posted in every classroom and every corridor, and where we have an anti-bullying officer that particularly makes sure there's no bullying in school. I'm not saying no bullying, any school have bullying, but where it's minimized. And we also have students who will report that their friends are not okay to teaching assistants or to teachers that they trust. And then also our form groups, our homeroom teachers, are doing student well-being surveys with the students individually in their class every term, where students can say, I'm feeling I have friends or I don't have friends, I'm feeling alone, I'm feeling I fit in, I don't fit in. It gets reported to the homeroom teacher, who has individual meetings with each member of their class every term, and that then gets, if it needs escalation, it gets evaluated, and it will go to the principals and the school counselor.
Yeah. And also you have psychologist service, yeah?
Yes, the school counselor. She's a qualified psychologist working specifically with children.
Yeah. It's great that we have this system in modern schools. And my next question will be about what does a future-ready school look like, in your opinion?
I would say the most important thing is it needs to be technology integrated. Like, we cannot have education without technology nowadays. And a lot of schools are moving towards a lot of software. I think also it's environmentally much more friendly to have, for example, online textbooks rather than paper textbooks. That is very, very important. There needs to be flexibility. It needs to be a school that is flexible and adaptable, and also it needs to be student-centered. Different students have different learning needs, have different emotional needs, and a future-ready school needs to be aware of that and cater towards that.
If we look to our modern students, to the new generation, in your opinion, what main 3 skills should students have when they graduate?
Okay, I think especially because of the intensity of social media and all the digital material that is out there, including AI, the most important thing that I would say, number one, is critical thinking. You need to be able to discern in this ocean of information that's coming towards you what is real, what is not real, what is fake, what is not fake, what is valid, what do I agree with, what do I disagree with. So I would say critical thinking is the main skill that we need to teach students. And then secondly is digital literacy. It's not only about how to use the social media and the technology, but how do I use it in an ethical and healthy way. So just like we used to have to teach students about healthy eating, about eating your vegetables and eating your protein and don't eat too much processed foods. Now the focus needs to be on how do I have all this media and this constant scrolling and this constant information coming at me? How do I use it in an ethical and responsible way? And lastly, I would say emotional intelligence. We see that with kids who's a lot on the screens, that they are emotionally not that intelligent. They need development. They need to learn to understand the peers, to understand the people around them, their classmates, their families, their friends, their teachers. So yes, emotional intelligence is something that definitely also has to be focused on.
Interesting. And if we discuss it from the side of parents, in your opinion, how is the role of parents changing in this process, in education? And are they more involved now, or you could compare it with past decades, for example?
I think COVID was a big eye-opener for many parents. I think for the first time, parents learned what does learning look like. They had to help their students to study online, and it was a big eye-opener for parents who had to educate themselves about learning, about their students' learning. So post-COVID, parents are much more involved than before. And parents are now seen as partners in learning, not just supporters. I think before COVID, parents were supporters. Now they want to be partners in the learning. So parents have a very, very big demand for greater transparency and open communication, which is why I told you that we have the Edu page and we have the WhatsApp groups. Parents want to know exactly what is happening and what's going on, and we've put the systems in place to cater towards that.
Thank you, Dr. Chanita. And we see that a lot of teachers, a lot of school management, they start using AI tools to develop the education system, to make teachers work less, for example, in documentation. What about Tamos Cambridge? Do you or your colleagues use AI? How you use it? What about, from like workers? And also, could you also mention, do you allow students to use AI tools, and in what way?
I would say AI has a very, very dramatic impact on education. It has both a beneficial and a negative impact. The good thing about AI is it's allowing personalized learning. So it's becoming much easier for educators to differentiate tasks based on students' specific needs. And also it is helping with a lot of adaptive tools. So that is really beneficial. Teachers can focus more on relationships and mentorship because AI is helping them to save time with doing a lot of mundane tasks. I think the important thing is that curriculum will shift dramatically over time. It is now a phase where students have the exact same knowledge that the teachers have. It's at the tip of their fingers. They just scroll or Google, and they, knowledge-wise, they can get exactly the same information as the students, as the teachers. But the important thing is that the students need to build relationships. And that is, I think, the focus will shift because of AI towards teachers building relationships rather than just sharing knowledge.
What about revolution in education as a whole? Do you think we're close to this revolution or because of AI invention? Or what signs do you see?
Yes, that's what I mentioned earlier. There's a dramatic shift. It used to be content. Nowadays, content is not that important because we can get content at the tip of our fingers on any social media platform, Google, AI, ChatGPT, anywhere. So the focus is moving towards skills-based. Like I said earlier about, for example, evaluation skills, analytical skills. So it's a dramatic move from content towards skills. And you see that in the curriculum, in the Cambridge curriculum, that is moving as well. There's also a lot of micro-learning going on. Students might find a specific topic that they're very interested in that most probably or maybe doesn't get offered at school. And it's easy for them to go on something like Coursera.org and just take an online course for free. So that is nice that it allows students to be able to learn anything that they are interested in. So I think those are really going to change the way education is moving in the future.
Yeah, let's see and hope that it will be a positive change for a new generation. Dr. Chanita, could you say to our followers the main difference, for example, of Cambridge international curriculum? Not the difference, the advantage You say that Cambridge curriculum also flexible and it's adapt because of this all new change. And but if we look at fundamental core of this program, could you say to our followers the main advantage of Cambridge International Curriculum?
I think the beauty of the Cambridge curriculum, firstly, is that it is standardized and it's internationally recognized. It is internationally recognized as having very, very high standards. So if you come from a Cambridge school, anywhere in the world, any university, you have a strong chance to be accepted into that university. For example, the exams does not get determined by the teacher whether the student is passing or failing. Exams gets physically flown to Cambridge in the UK, where they get marked, where they get assessed and moderated by professionals, and then gets flown back to the students. So everybody in the world knows if you come from a Cambridge school, you've got a certain level of education, certain high standards that is adapted to prepare you for university and for the real life after that.
And if we compare with local program, for example, in Kazakhstan we have 11 grade system, but in Cambridge we have 12 grade system. And I also confused about age in KG and preschool. For example, KG in local system is kindergarten. It's from, for example, in Tamos we have Tamos kindergarten. It's from 3 years old till 6 years old, but in Cambridge KG is it's grade 0, yeah.
We have pre-kindergarten, which starts at age 3, kindergarten, and then it goes from grade 1 to 12. So grade 5, they have checkpoint exams that gets flown to Cambridge. Grade 8, they have checkpoint exams again in the core subjects, English, Maths and Science. Grade 9 and 10, they do their IGCSE course, which is a 2-year course, which have big exams at the end of it. And then grade 11, they do what is called the AS examinations, which is a qualification higher than IGCSE. And in grade 12, they do the A-level exams, which is the final exams that allows you to go straight into most universities on earth.
Yeah, and we know that our Tamos Cambridge graduates, we have graduates who already get acceptance letter from top universities, but in 11th grade. So it's possible not finish 12th grade system, but also to continue university study after 11th grade.
Yes, after 11th grade, most universities will allow you into something called a foundation course. So you do a year foundation course and then you start your bachelor's degree. If you do grade 12, you will not do a foundation year at university. You will go straight into your bachelor's degree. So I would say it's cheaper for parents to do the A-levels and skip the foundation year because you save 1 year of university fees.
And continue talking about preparation for university. We see that most students in Kazakhstan, they prepare for IELTS. But I heard that if our students, for example, in Tamos Cambridge, they took these IGCSE exams and another kind of exams, it's not so important to prepare for IELTS. Is it true?
Yes, IELTS are required by some universities, but many universities on earth, if you've done your IGCSE English and you've done all your schooling for 12 years in English, they don't require the IELTS. Some do, but I would say 50% you don't need IELTS.
So our students, our Tamos Cambridge students, they receive official Cambridge certification from London?
Yes, from Cambridge.
From Cambridge?
Yes.
And so they just send scans for universities and they...
Gets accepted.
Yeah, get it.
Yes.
Oh, cool. What about preparation for universities? What program we have in Tamos Cambridge? I mean, in if we speak in documentation, preparation of portfolio, do we have such
Yes,
system?
we have Miss Karina, who's our career counselor, and she worked together with teachers. We provide a lot of extracurricular activities and opportunities for students to develop their portfolio. They get help writing personal statements. They get advised as to which universities and which interests they have, and all the services are provided. What fees the university want, what entrance requirements the university want, which countries on earth provide the courses that you want to participate in or what you want to go and study. We provide that as part of our Tamos Cambridge service to our students.
Thank you. Dr. Chanita, could you share with us your vision maybe in 5 years? What you see in the development of Tamos Cambridge, maybe as a school, and maybe not only if we look at one school, but all private schools which provide Cambridge curriculum in Kazakhstan, because it's very famous, popular system. Your prediction, maybe your vision in 5 years or in 10 years?
Something that I found interesting about Cambridge schools in Kazakhstan is most other countries where I've worked, school leaders of Cambridge schools will come together and brainstorm and collaborate and help each other. Whereas I've reached out in Almaty to other Cambridge school directors, and I found that there is such a strong sense of competition in Almaty that directors are hesitant to collaborate and to work together. And I think that is really sad because students, and there's so many opportunities missed because there's such a high guarding themselves against stealing each other's students, for example.
Or teachers.
Or teachers. And I wish that wants to go away, that the Cambridge schools in Almaty can come together and say, right, let's collaborate, let's have a forum, let's have a conference, let's have inter-school competitions. I think that would be my ultimate dream for Cambridge schools in Almaty.
Let's try it first from our side, from Tamos side. Maybe we could organize some sport competition between private Cambridge schools.
That'll be fantastic. Yeah. That'll be nice.
And maybe could you please also share some recommendation for young parents who are thinking about local program or Cambridge International program? Maybe they're afraid because in home they speak in Russian or Kazakh, and they're afraid that their kids are not so prepared to study fully in English in Cambridge curriculum. Could you give some recommendation why parents should choose Tamos Cambridge?
I would say the first thing is to start early, to expose your child from very, very, very young, a few months old, to the English language. I think it is nowadays, it's not enough to be able to just speak one language. Most people on this earth speak 2 or 3 languages. So I think from your baby, from a few months old, start exposing them to a second language. In my case, I would recommend English because the Cambridge program is in English and most of the earth understand English. We do a lot of work at school to support students, and that's why we offer the pre-kindergarten and the kindergarten options, so that when students go there, they don't speak English, but they learn the English language skills that by the time they get to grade 1, they are able to study in the English language. So we have a system in place to guide parents. What you can do at home, mums and dads, is I suggest that you just start playing some English videos rather than Russian or Kazakh videos to your children at home.
Thank you. And because of this Soviet transition to independence, some generation, they forgot traditions, culture, and now young generation, they worried about how to back them, to save our local Kazakh tradition, our culture. What about Cambridge curriculum and this impact? could you say that in Cambridge School we support local culture and we have Kazakh language lessons?
Yes, definitely. That is very, very important. We have a strong Kazakh department in the school, manned by Kazakh teachers. We offer Kazakh history, Kazakh geography, Kazakh language. And we also, once a month, we have an event specifically created in assemblies for students to learn about the Kazakh culture. So we have, for example, in term 4 last year, we had a Kazakh fashion show where the art teacher helped students design their own traditional Kazakh costumes. And then they had a fashion show at school. And it was very interesting to see the creations that the students came up with. We've also started Dombra lessons in our school last year. And we encourage students, we also have Kazakh as a foreign language. So I know, for example, how to greet and how to say hello and thank you. And we encourage that.
Interesting. And also last year I saw you have your rock band.
Yes.
Yeah, it's professional. Very interesting winter show. Yeah, they organized.
My background is very artistic and cultural, and I think what is very important in modern society, it just comes back again to all this digital material available to people. Something that you cannot learn from a screen is creativity. And in the workforce, creativity is really, really needed. That's how we problem solve. That's how we solve problems. Employers are looking for creativity. So as an advocate of the arts, you know me, I do art exhibitions and all sorts of stuff in school. I also, myself, I paint, I do pottery, I'm very creative. And I think it's very important. So I put a lot of emphasis on this in my school. We have a winter show. We have a summer show. We have an art exhibition. I think it's very, very important skill for students that they're not going to learn from a screen. That's something that schools have to teach, is creativity and problem-solving skills.
Thank you. And if we look at creativity, and you say that you love painting, so I heard that in Cambridge curriculum, we even have this examination in painting.
Yes.
How they scored and how you send it to England?
Yes, I'm very happy that we are offering A-level art. The art exams are really, really intense. It's a 14-hour exam where the exam is broken down into 2 days and the students have to paint. And until last year, we physically had to fly the paintings to Cambridge. But from this year, Cambridge is now allowing, they have very strict requirements for very high quality cameras. And the art department take photos of these artworks and upload it to Cambridge, where it will then get moderated and graded. We have quite an interest in that. There's quite a few students that are choosing it as an option.
Yeah, and I think it's dangerous because if we photo these students' works in not so in good quality, they could receive bad scores. Yeah? So we need to control all requirements from Cambridge.
Yeah, Cambridge have very strict requirements. I think in May we had to hire specific cameras because we didn't have them at Tamos. Specific cameras with very high regulations to make sure the pixels and is correct.
Yeah. So we receive a lot of insights. Thank you, Dr. Chanita. But if we speak not about education, about traveling.
Yes.
I know that you love traveling.
Yes.
Could you share with us your experience, how many countries you visit, maybe why you travel, which is your philosophy of traveling?
Okay, yes, that's true. I'm a very hardcore traveler. I've been to 45 countries, many of those countries several times. Like I've just been in Bali 2 summers in a row. We plan to go to Hong Kong in January. I love traveling. I learned so much from traveling. When I did my doctorate degree, I did a lot of research into culture and how to lead different cultures and how to operate in different cultures. And I just feel you gain so much wisdom and you gain perspective. If you just live in one country, you think your way of doing things is the right way. Your way of believing about things is the right way. When you start traveling and you start learning about other people's perspectives, their beliefs, their religion, their culture, their food, you gain perspective and you realize that maybe my way is not the only way that is right. Maybe there are different ways that could be right. And I'm really grateful for the opportunities I've had to travel. And I recommend anyone to travel because you just gain perspective in life, you gain wisdom, and you learn that different people on this earth view things in a different way, and your way of thinking about things is not necessarily the only correct way.
It's interesting. I also love traveling. Dr. Chanita Federlein, do you have something to say to our whole Tamos community, to students, to parents, to teachers?
Well, I hope you've had a great summer, and I wish you a happy new academic year. Please, entire Tamos community, no matter which Tamos school you're from, please come visit us in Cambridge, come say hi, come meet your colleagues and your friends and teaching staff. Please come visit your colleagues in Tamos Cambridge. We hope you will have a very happy academic year.
A big thank to Dr. Chanita Federlein for her insights, wisdom, recommendation, wish, experience, and thank you for being with us, Miss Chanita. If you enjoyed our episode, share and subscribe, and welcome to the Tamos Cambridge.